everyone, and welcome back to SSRG and Your View. In this platform, we discuss different social issues, and today, somebody suggested that we talk about the impact of migration on family separation. And I have been thinking about this impact of migration and family separation and looking at what literature has said, what different studies has said. And many of them will talk about how families would feel guilty, or the individual who migrated would feel guilty for leaving their family behind, how it causes grief, separation anxiety, and all that. And I was using myself as an African who left Africa for to school and better life, economic migration. And I was wondering if I feel the same way that what as to what the literature says, especially regarding the feeling of guilt and stuff like that. So I thought maybe it would be nice for us to start this conversation from here. So I want to ask the both of you who are migrants in Europe and in the United States, uh, do you feel guilty for leaving your family and friends behind?
I Now that you put it this way, because when the person who suggested that we discuss migration and the relationship and how it affects family dynamics, I was thinking we were going to dwell on someone. I don't know what we were going to dwell, but I didn't think you would talk about how whether
That's
we're.
why I threw you a curveball.
I mean, so that's actually valid because I do feel guilty. Like personally, I thought about that some weeks ago, and this is a very plain, honest truth. I thought about it because maybe this is too much information, but it's not because I just need to bear myself out. I'm the first child among six siblings, so five plus myself, six, and I'm like the first. And my younger ones are they're very young, so like the age gap between us is very distant. And I was thinking about it because sometimes some issues come up within the family, and someone needs to run around to sort out those things. And it's my younger ones that are doing that thing. And it got me thinking. My sister, one time when she did one of those things that demanded an adult like to do those things, and I wasn't there, and it made me feel bad. I was like, wait a minute, I'm here, and this child who just finished secondary school, he's is the one who is having to do all these things. And I started feeling guilty at that point. But also you need to consider why I'm here. One, for the educational purpose, and not just for the educational purpose, but overall for the betterment of the family, quote and unquote, betterment to progress the family. So when you think about that, also you begin to say, okay,
So does
maybe
it override the guilt? Does
it
the
may,
desire to, make you feel less guilty?
in the long run, yeah, it will. If
No, no, no.
eventually
I'm asking
everything,
for you now, not in the long run. Like, do
okay,
you?
not like right now, no,
Yes.
it doesn't override the guilt because every once in a while, I still feel that sense of guilt. But I mean, it is what it is.
Okay. What about you, Emma?
Well, I never really thought about migration in that angle, like feeling guilty for leaving my family and friends behind. Honestly, I never felt guilty for leaving. It's never crossed my mind, like regretting leaving them behind. But I would say I miss them a lot. I miss the good times shared with them, the vibes, old friends, family, so for me, I miss my family and friends, not like feeling guilty for leaving them because honestly, I do not feel like I owe them some special responsibility as to why I should not go anywhere and always stay with them. Well, on a lighter note, I they should be the one feeling guilty for leaving me alone here. I'm suffering.
Okay, okay. So
Yeah.
what I'm getting is like for me, I'm the fifth child, so like I don't have younger siblings who
Yeah.
are left behind and they are working and doing all that, right? So I'm wondering if like maybe someone's position in the family and the expectation has a role to play. Maybe, for instance, if I was married and had children in Nigeria, maybe I would be feeling guilty for abandoning them. Maybe that's what I'm not seeing in this study that I'm talking about. So,
Mhm.
what do you guys think?
Yeah, of course, it has to be individualistic because even from what TC said right now, we can clearly see that it depends on your position. He is not just the firstborn child, as he said, but the age difference is gap. You get so it feels like you are here, but a kid is doing something that an adult is supposed to do, right? But for me, I wouldn't feel like that. For instance, maybe because I'm the last born child. So all the other ones that are not here with me, I'm the youngest. Even though family responsibility is not exclusively about who comes
Of
first or last.
course. No be
This is
who, no be
yeah,
firstborn K Papa.
I
So,
dey tell
exactly,
you.
exactly. So because I am the last born doesn't mean I shouldn't do something I am supposed to do because I have an elder brother. But in TC's case, for example, it's completely different because these guys are way younger. So I understand. So based on to answer what you asked, Prince, I feel it is very individualistic. It depends on your marital status, for example, because maybe I feel so free and innocent talking like this because I'm not a father of three kids back home. You know, it would be different if I were in that position. Yeah.
I definitely think like even like this my own guilt is even small for married people who have kids. I think they have a greater guilt to feel if they think about it because like it's especially when you think about the economic condition that we are in Nigeria and in most places where people tend to migrate from, you would see that sometimes they are not in a better economic position. But that's where the leverage comes in, that you are here and hopefully there's remittances, you're sending money back home, and that kind of like
Yeah.
isn't the guilt that you feel
Yeah. So
somehow.
the reason I feel that maybe the feeling of guilt is not really may not be that strong is that this is a somewhat different case. It's not a case of abandonment.
Yeah.
Except you are one of those guys who intentionally leave the country without even informing anybody. Some people do that. They just
yeah.
disappear into thin air.
And never respond to
Yeah,
messages.
and they don't respond. So then I would understand guilt. But somebody just like me, if it's everybody knew I was going, just like TC mentioned, for educational purposes, for greener pastures purposes. So it's not really the guilt in this case might not be the same. Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing I'm going to ask is for TC, especially now that you feel guilt, what do you do with that feeling? Like, what do you
Mm.
do with that feeling that you have? Because, like, I'm thinking that's like, because I'm interested in migration. A lot of my research is on migration, and I
Mhm.
see that guilt with regards to refugees that I work with in my work,
Mm.
because they are always talking about, oh, I still have family in Congo, I still have family in Kenya. I still have family in all these places and they are suffering and all that, right? So
Mhm.
they still feel that sense of abandonment, right? So how do you navigate that feeling, that guilt that you have? What do you do with that feeling? I don't know if I'm asking the question
Yeah,
well.
you're asking the right question, and this might not be the right answer, but it potentially might point to the right direction in terms of thinking about it. One way that I tend to forget about the guilt is that my family, like God bless them, they are not overbearing. Like my mom, my dad, my siblings, they are not overbearing. So they are not making a demand on me that, oh, come back, oh, do this, oh, do that. Like even
Do
not
they
just
even
when
want you to come back? That's the bigger question.
That they
If
do,
you tell
they
them you want to come back, would they be more happy or more angry?
No, that's
and
when you know. If you tell them you want to come back, that's when you feel the real guilt because of what they will do to you.
and this is not just when I like migrated out of the country. Even when I was in Nigeria, they were staying in Lagos. I was staying in Enugu for the most part, even after graduating. And my mom would not pressure me to come back home. Even after school, I would say, you know what, I'm not coming back to Lagos because I had
Because
stayed in Lagos.
you are a burden. You add
Maybe
it to their
because you are a pain in their ass. You see, maybe because your absence is the peace of the family. Yeah,
No, yeah, that's a way to look at it. But the bigger picture here is, I appreciate the fact that they don't burden me with, oh, you need to be around to get things done, or you need to be my. And I talk to them every now and then, like especially on weekends, and we keep in touch and all whatnot. So that's one way that I typically navigate that feeling. One, I know that they are not stressing me. They understand what I'm doing here, and they understand that it's for the good. In fact, my mom would tell me, because Enugu at the time where I was staying in Nsukka, she believed that it was safer in Nsukka compared to where we stay in Lagos. So she was very happy. She was like, "You're in a very safe place."
So you
So
people were living at Jegunle.
yeah, we stay in Ajegunle. Like it was a very rough. We
I
stay in
didn't
Ajegunle.
even know that.
Yeah, it's
But I just know that in mainstream media, Jegunle is known as the rough area.
we stay in Ajegunle. I grew up in Ajegunle, born and bred in Ajegunle.
Now, why you be Egboro?
I, I love the Agbero, but that's the same narrative I get now that I'm in the US, because it's relatively peaceful in quote and unquote compared to, especially economically, it's peaceful economically.
yeah,
So now that I'm here, my mom is like, you know what, it's safer here, because if you see what people are going through in Nigeria, blah blah blah. So that kind of gives me peace of mind that okay, she's not stressed about me being here.
yeah. So I
Emma,
already
do you
said
have anything to say?
yeah, I already said I don't feel guilty for not being back home with them. So because of that, I may not have any response as to how I cope or how I navigate the guilt. But I'm going to give an analogy that might add to what TC already said. So this is something that I discovered from the research I do. Most times when discuss with participants, they always talk
Because you
about.
study migrants too.
Yeah, exactly. I do that, but I focus on mental health. Each time we discuss, because in mental health research, it's always possible, it's always very important to try to understand how people cope with these things. So, one way that people cope with these challenges is, thinking about the fact that the money they make here, even though they might not be rich here, but because of the exchange rate, when they send that money home, it solves problems to a significant extent. People cope that way, right? It's a good coping. So maybe in this case, it could also apply that being able to support them financially might erase that guilt, even though not completely. So maybe.
Okay, so do you want to say something,
Yeah,
TC?
I was just going to say that if we also like consider it from like a, I don't know the better word to use, but from the like a life course approach in terms of how the trajectory, when the person first arrives, the person might feel that overwhelming guilt or like emotion all over the place. But as time passes, depending, the guilt might go up, the guilt might come down. So there's also that allowing time to do its thing, and then things
Yeah.
tend to even out.
Okay, now I'm going to flip the argument
Mm.
because like I know that for us it is your decision to migrate, right?
Yeah.
But do you at any time feel abandoned by your friends and family who you left behind? Do you feel about maybe they don't talk to you as much as you expected, or they don't communicate, like like there are some people who after because there is distance now, they don't, the communication channel seems a little broken. So does it
Mhm.
give a sense of isolation for
Yeah.
you who is an immigrant?
Yeah, for me it does. Because sometimes it's only when you migrate that you understand that popular saying that out of sight is out of mind. So it really happens a lot. Even though for me, I don't feel so abandoned. So what I actually feel is that I am objectified, and I'm going to clarify that. Yes,
Interesting. Okay.
yes,
Tell you.
I feel so objectified a lot of times, and you know what? I feel like I am an object of financial support.
You say
Ooh.
object, so you feel
Ooh.
used.
Yeah,
Mm.
no, 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 not really used in a sense. Maybe I don't have the right term for that.
Mm.
Not used, because use is a different line, even though very similar. But I
Hmm.
feel like something that is just there that people go when they want to go and they leave. Like you see someone that's from the blues, they just be like you know that feeling when once you see someone's message, you already know why they are
Like
texting you.
infrared. Connect,
You
stay.
know, you know,
Infrared
you know,
connection.
like, and you can't even prove yourself wrong for once
Mm.
because that's the truth. So people just come and then okay, it's either you do it or you don't do it depending on your condition that time, and that's it. Even
Okay,
though,
I do have a question
yeah,
on this.
yeah,
So like, if you have someone, maybe family, friends, or anyone, and they keep in touch with you, but once in a while they ask you for financial support, compared to family, friends who do not keep in touch with you, they only reach out when they need financial support.
mm,
Which one is better? Because for
yeah,
me, I don't want you keeping in touch. If you need
yeah.
something, reach out.
Even
And if I
before you
can do
ask the
something, I
question,
will.
I already knew where you were coming from because I know I know you in terms of that. You don't care whether people keep in touch or not. But for me, just like I was talking, the first one, like where people keep in touch from time to time, I feel it's better for me. Do you know why? Not because I am so high on people checking up on me. Because if we should measure it by that matrix, I know that I don't even check up on many people too.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is that it gives a sense of belonging. This
Mm-hmm.
thing is very individualistic. You may not feel it, but another person might feel it. If I've been friends with someone, I am not saying every day, every week, check up on me, but let there be a day, just one day in a year that I receive your message and like, bro, how are you doing? I'm fine. How about you? I just want to check on you. Bam.
I dey tell you, I just want to check on you. That's
That is
life.
it. And the person leaves. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
So even if the person comes back next time to say, hey, do you have something? I need something. Why not? Even if the
Mm.
person wasn't talking to me and I have, I will still give the person. But these are the small things that endanger the mental health of migrants, but we don't
Yeah.
get to talk
I, I,
about them.
I think I
This
would
is
like, yeah, I would like to add on to what Ima just said now because I think like I'm a huge advocate, not advocates because I don't do migrant work, but like I believe so much in the mental health of immigrants and like people in the diaspora. And I think that people back home do not understand the extent of mental health issues that people face. When we call it mental health, it looks broad. It could be anything. It could be pressure. It could be financial stress.
Stress. Yeah.
It could be anything. If the person is in school, it could be academic stress. It could be anything. And just realizing that the fact that the person don't japa or move to a different location doesn't mean they have settled down or doesn't mean they are now the be all and they are now whoever in the world. So every now and then checking on them, how far how you day, hope say you day all right. Like that's asking alone goes a long way rather than when you come and it's always you making one demand or the other.
And another danger here from what you pointed out, TC, is that when you leave, you understand. I had a conversation with a good friend of mine. We used to stay together in Norway last year, okay, 2 years ago. So we talked about this issue where when you become a migrant, you share something a bit similar with celebrities. No, I'm going to make it clear. Not like you're a celebrity, but something. Do you know that right now, a celebrity might want to say something, but because of their position, they don't want to say it
mm.
because of their career and everything. When you become a migrant, it's not everything that you want to say because people are going to start feeling like once you leave, you want to prove to the other people that you are the best. And you don't want to make people feel that way. For instance, it's not everything that I want to write on my status that I do, I write there.
Mm-hmm.
because I am conscious of my other friends who are not able to migrate. How is this going to make them feel? So, and that is the reason why
Mm.
people are not checking up on you. You cannot even express yourself the much you would like to do it, but
So
they
you
don't
don't
think
like
about
now
it.
if you buy a new car, you won't post it so that people will not feel bad that
Yeah,
they didn't buy a
uh,
new
uh,
car.
yeah,
Bad
exactly.
guy.
Some
I
of these things,
swear, I swear.
and this thing, there is this assumption that once you jackpot, automatically you are
You've
free.
made it.
So
It's
Yes.
when
all
you
it's
discuss with
all
people, you
true.
say, "Me support you," you they whine. No, be you suppose they support us way day back here because
You know
people
what?
think about support in terms of money.
So I'm going to end because of time, but there was something someone told me. He said, which made me really laugh. He said that at some point, what he adopted two mechanisms to reduce this. One is that if somebody chats him up, he would be the first to ask him if the person has money to give to them. Like if you just say
I,
hello, Ingo first, Ingo text you anything for the boys, or are they hungry or find me something. And then the second thing he does is that he will say, "Oh, like if somebody said, can you give me like 50K? I need to complete my rent. I have to pay it in the next 5 days." He will wait for that 5 days to pass, and then he will reply and be like, "Oh, I didn't see it on time. The 5 days has passed." But I just thought it was funny.
oh
But
God.
thank you, the two of you, for engaging in this discussion. And I want to hear from audience, like if you are an immigrant, what's your own experience? Put it in the comment section. If you're also somebody still back home, what's your experience with family members who are outside the country? Let's keep the conversation going. Remember
Yeah,
to like and subscribe.
thank you.